So I recently did a Jose Cuervo themed motorcycle. Didn't quite turn out the way that I had planned it due to time restraints. Unfortunately, when I got the bike, I was down for like 4 weeks with COVID, which really put me back on the design and the finishing of it in time for events for the shop that I was doing it for. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about the inspiration behind this motorcycle. Number one, when I went and talked to the shop, which was the big toy shop, the owner there explained to me that he wanted it based on the Jose Cuervo Express train. And I started looking at the train. I watched a YouTube document on it, and pictures on the internet are very hard to determine on what color that this train really is. It almost looks like brown and gold with some copper, but in the document it actually states that it's just black and gold. So, saying that, I changed the design a little bit from my original thoughts. I still wanted to go a little bit crazy on it. I wanted to make it like a true lowrider style, motorcycle. I wanted to do more candy fades. I already use I'll tell you some of the products that I used. I used a burnt copper flake over top of a brown pearled base coat, which turned out really great. Here's a little video of how it originally turned out. Lots of sparkle, look great in the sun, look great out of the sun. Make some really cool lowrider designs, similar to these, right? I love the lowrider style paint jobs. Always have my whole life. It is something that I kind of have a passion for. Like, even I have a car right now that I just acquired. It's for myself. I'm about to put big flake on the roof of it, but that's getting off topic. Yeah, I want to do some candy fades and stuff like that. So I started searching around and trying to get some ideas off the internet on how I can, what designs I could use. But again, with time restraints, things changed. So what I ended up doing is I took a couple of the Jose Cuervo elements, like this skull. Where's it gonna go? This skull, right? Which I loved. I put it on the front fender. It turned out like this, and then I took because the Mexican culture, man, like I love it. Tacos, tacos, lowriders. The Day of the Dead festival. I kind of wish that I could have had, because he wanted it more simplistic, right? I wanted to go a little bit more extreme. If it would have been up to me, what I would have done is I would have done a bunch of Day of the Dead candy skulls all over this bike with Jose Cuervo written all over it. But he said he wanted more of the lowrider style. I kind of wish that I could have done at least a little bit of a mural on it. But again, time restraints. Ooh. Time restraints, it wasn't on my side. I wanted to do more. Unfortunately, when you do big flake, like you lay it on, you clear coat it. It kind of looks like gravel guards. So like you wet sand, you get it as smooth as possible. I try to get everything as smooth as possible for each layer. because that just helps with the next layer you're putting on, right? And at the end result, the smoother that you put the final clear coat, the less chance you have to do much wet sand and polishing on it. And that is always a goal of mine. Always a goal of mine. So yeah, I used over top of the candy, over top of that burnt copper, I went and I put some black candy coats. I dug into my old some of my old paints that I had. I still had the old Matrix black candy. I know they're coming out with some new stuff, um, which is going to be the Matrix Edge, which is going to be fun for me to play with when it eventually comes out. I mean, I'm a true fan of House of Colors. The next paint line, besides that I love using is Matrix. You know, Matrix, it's owned by Valspar. Valspar owns, House of Color. In actuality, Sherwin-Williams owns all those companies now, but that's a different story. But yeah, so I did some black candy on it, and then I did a little bit of I took some mini gold flake that I had, but I did take my plotter and I did cut out these designs. The Day of the Dead skull that they have as one of the promos, which I really loved. I did put the Big Toy Shop logo on the back fender as well. I thought, what else? I mean, I got to put Jose Cuervo on there, and added the bird, the raven, the crow. I tried it, like, I really wish I would have more time. I want to do some candy lacing on it and stuff like that. Like, I had a big vision in my head on what I was going to do for this bike. And again, COVID got in the way. COVID's been in the way for like almost 3 years now. And yeah, this time I caught COVID. I know I've said this in other videos before, and unfortunately, as my only employee, I can't rely on anyone else to finish the job. So I went and I did a couple of, put a couple of gold lines along the fender and around the tank. The logos and everything like that, I did. Everything was done with flake. Like, I love spraying with flake. Unfortunately, like, it's a hard job to do because, again, this is like big pieces of, well, they used to be metal, but big pieces of particles, like a flake that you're putting in over top of a paint job, in a paint job. So, I mean, they all sit at different angles as you're, and that's where you get the sparkle. Like, when they sit at different angles, I try to make them, like, I use transparent base coat, put them in the transparent base coat so they can lay a little bit more flatter. But I mean, when they land on top of each other, they're always going to have, like, there's always going to be bumps and stuff like that. So you always got to do a lot of wet sanding and polishing. But this is how it turned out. I hope that, I just sent the last couple of pieces. I was still wet sanding and polishing the other day to try to get it as perfect as I could. Again, time restraints. They have there's a this weekend they have their big grand opening or whatever they're doing at the Big Toy Shop. And I hope this bike grabs some attention. I really hope it grabs some attention. I really do, because not many people do the big flake anymore. It's totally old school style. I love the old school style. I wish I could have done more on the bike. Like, I think it deserved a little mural on the back. Unfortunately, ran out of time. Like I said a few times here. Hope I get to hopefully they send me because right now they're assembling the bike, and hopefully they send me a finished bike picture of it all put together. If I don't, I guess I'll have to go to the event and take some snapshots myself because I'd like to see what it looks like all together. But enough of me rambling. Enough of me rambling. Enough of me rambling. Yeah, let's. I got things to paint. I got things to paint. I got things to paint. I got things to do. You have an awesome day, and we'll talk next time.